tell us a bit about the patriotism that that foreigners, maybe including the Chinese, don't necessarily understand that Americans feel for their country, as embodied in the Marines, how they may think about danger, contribution, sacrifice, and what needs to be done.
Well, I guess the concept to keep in mind would be that of guardian, protecting what's near and dear to the United States. We're fortunate that through whatever magic was created years ago, that we have this mystique where people like Matt Pottinger, and Ivan Kanapathy, and others that were Marines retain a lot of pride in that service. So hopefully that'll continue. I think there's a bond among all the members of the military, both current and former, from volunteering to serve something much bigger than themselves. And that concept stays with you.
Going forward, what does it take for the United States to become, as a nation, to be more aware or more connected with its armed forces, including, say, the Marines, the Marine Corps families, especially since we have an all-volunteer force?
You ended on an important point. We have an all-volunteer force, but it's an all-recruited force, and it requires a significant effort. And it's not just the individual that you're looking at recruiting. You also have to explain what we're doing to their parents, their friends, to the communities they come from. I spent 5 years on recruiting duty, so I can speak with some confidence on what the effort is. People don't volunteer without an effort. It's got to be an educational effort, a persuasion effort, and it's got to be attuned to the whole community where they live. I would say that there's disadvantages to the authoritarian system, and I'd point to the early days in the Ukraine war, what happened to the Russian army. One of the jokes was that we used to think that Russia's army was the second best in the world, and then it turns out that they were the second best in Ukraine, and then with the Wagner Group and their attempted mutiny or rebellion, the joke became that the Russian army is now the second best army in Russia. In my experience with U.S. friends who used to have autocratic governments, their armed forces became much more proficient and much better as the country democratized. In a democracy, you share information, you push authority downward. In an authoritarian system, it's always one boss at the top that directs everything, and that's not warfare in the 21st century.
Do you feel once a Marine, always a Marine?
Well, that's what we all believe.